In this episode of the Courageous Public Health Podcast, Lori Latham reflects on what it means to keep showing up even when the outcome isn't certain. From running for leadership knowing she would likely lose, to speaking more directly after years of softening her voice, to raising children she cannot protect from every challenge, Lori shares what it looks like to act from your values even when you understand what it might cost. This conversation explores courage, authenticity, political leadership, parenting, and what becomes possible when we stop letting anticipated outcomes determine whether we act. You're listening to the Courageous Public Health Podcast, episode 64.
To all the courageous women leading in public health, this podcast is your space to turn up the volume on your courage. This space centers your voice. This space celebrates your passion. This space amplifies your courage. My role? To listen, to amplify, and to stand with you in the fight for equity. My name is Dr. Christy McClamrock. I am an epidemiologist, consultant, the founder and CEO of Courageous Public Health, and the host of the Courageous Public Health Podcast. Each week, I have real, unfiltered conversations with women in public health about the challenges you face, the power you hold, and your vision for the future. We talk about the authenticity, vulnerability, and courage that you bring, not just to public health, but to every part of your lives. Because courage is about action, even in fear. It's about taking up space, leading unapologetically, refusing to be erased, and knowing you never have to do it alone. If you're ready to turn up the volume on your courage, if you're ready to take up space, if you're ready to smash the racist, patriarchal, cisnormative, heteronormative, ableist, capitalistic systems, then listen to this new episode.
Hello, and welcome to the Courageous Public Health Podcast. I'm Dr. Christy McClamrock. One of the things these conversations continue to reveal is that courage isn't always about changing the outcome. Sometimes it's about choosing to act because your values call you there, even when success isn't guaranteed. We often celebrate courage after we know how the story ends, but most courageous decisions happen long before anyone knows the outcome. They happen in moments when the risks are real, the consequences are uncertain, and we have to decide whether to move forward anyway. Through Courageous Public Health, I partner with organizations through keynote presentations, facilitated conversations, workshops, and leadership development experiences to help leaders navigate complexity, systems change, and high-stakes decision-making with greater clarity, courage, and alignment. Today's conversation is with Lori Latham. Lori Latham has served on the Gary Common Council since January of 2023 and served as the body's president in 2025. She represents Gary's 1st District while working full-time as a business development representative with Wessler Engineering, a water resource engineering firm specializing in drinking water, wastewater, and stormwater planning and design. A longtime community organizer, Lori has built a career on prioritizing community needs and improving policies and practices within government and non-for-profit organizations. A longtime public health, environmental, and social justice activist, Lori Latham previously served as a member of the Live Lake County Tobacco Prevention Coalition, the former chair of the Secondhand Smoke Committee and the Environmental and Climate Justice Committee of the NAACP Gary branch, and as a board member of the Project Rebuild Foundation. After graduating from Tennessee State University with a bachelor's in political science and Loyola University in Chicago with a master's in social justice, she went on to serve as the founder and director of the Central District Organizing Project, a grassroots, not-for-profit organization in the Midtown neighborhood of Gary, Indiana. She also served as superintendent of the City of Gary's Parks Department and directed the Gary Youth Service Bureau. She is the founder of the Blackwater Professionals Alliance and the 1972 Group, a political consulting agency that builds community and supports Black elected officials. Lori loves God, Gary, Indiana, and her husband Darian, and their 3 children, Dalen, Lauren, and Lennon. She lives with them and her dad, Clarence Peterson. She spells her name in all lowercase to honor the womanist writer Bell Hooks. Here's my conversation with Lori Latham.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Courageous Public Health Podcast. I'm here with Lori Latham. How are you, Lori? How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you. How are you, Christy?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to chat with you. I got your name from the Honorable Attica Scott.
Yes.
But it was quite a while ago. It took us some time to connect and make this happen. But so I've had lots of anticipation about talking to you.
Attica is a mentor and a personal hero of mine. I was a intern for Interfaith Worker Justice many, many years ago. And a young lady, Dr. Joy Heine, was in charge of internship assignments. I really wanted to go to Boston because I was like 24.
Yep.
And wanted to, experience Boston. But
it's an amazing place.
The director of placements was just like, no, I want to send you to Louisville, Kentucky, because I think that the mentorship of Attica Scott will be something that would benefit you. And when I tell you she was not wrong, I run into Dr. Heine now often, and I tell her all the time, one of the best things you could have done for me in my life was making my path cross with Attica Scott. She inspires me every day.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I'm not at all surprised. I was very inspired with her when I interviewed her.
Yeah.
Back, what did I say? Episode 14, I think. Yeah. Back in the beginning of the podcast. So
almost everything we talk about, every move in my life, there's probably an Attica Scott story.
Yes. Oh, that's, I love it. I love the connections. I love making these connections through the podcast. It's really exciting for me to meet new people in that way. So I want to give you a chance to introduce yourself to the listeners. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much. And you know what, Christy, it dawned on me, you were so respectful and professional toward me, asking me how to pronounce, my name and making sure you use my pronouns and titles and everything. I want to make sure, is it Dr. Christy? Should I call you?
Great question. Thank you for asking. And I'm happy with Christy. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you though. Yeah. Yes. We want to get this right. We want to respect people's
everything
desires around this. Yeah.
Right. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your podcast. Just grateful for the time that I can sit and speak to you, and I'm grateful for the invitation. I am Lori Latham. I like to tell people I spell my name in all lowercase letters on purpose. I am currently serving as councilwoman of the 1st District in Gary, Indiana. So I sit on Gary City Council. I'm also a business development representative at Wessler Engineering. And I am one of the co-founders of the 1972 group, which is a consultant group where we help uplift and mentor Black elected officials in the state of Indiana.
So tell me, what is the relevance of 1972?
Sure. In 1972, about 10,000 Black people, activists, artists, organizers from all over the country came to Gary, Indiana for the National Black Political Convention. Now, 1972 was about 4 years after 1968. We know a lot of different things happened, including Martin Luther King's assassination, but also 2 major cities in America elected Black mayors, and that was Cleveland with Carl Stokes and Gary, Indiana, with Richard Hatcher. And after the assassination of King and wondering what the next steps of the civil rights movement would be, there was a lot of energy about building Black political empowerment. So they came to Gary in 1972 and hosted a convention where Coretta Scott King and Betty Shabazz, the widows of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, meet for the first time. Joe Jackson and Amiri Baraka moderate the convening. They had delegates from every state come together to develop a national Black political agenda. I mean, James Brown is there. Harry Belafonte is there. It's just one of it was a very high time. And from that convention, Black people went all over the country and ran for office. So you see 50 years later, like the election of Barack Obama.
Yes.
And we know that started in 1972 in Gary, Indiana. So we named our organization 1972 Group in homage to that period of history.
That's lovely. I'm literally getting like little tingles, chills up my face and my cheeks. It's like, I absolutely can see there's such a direct line from that to President Obama being elected. That's great.
So that's the 1972 group. I'm also a mom.
Fantastic.
I have three kids. I'm married to the most wonderful man, Darian, and my 90-year-old dad lives with us as well. So
wow.
I always say I have 4 kids. They're 12, 14, 16, and 90.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Fantastic. Well, thank you for that introduction and a little extra information that wasn't in your professional bio. That's I love when
I need to add it. I also feel like I need an elevator pitch. It takes me too long to describe 1972. So
no, I thought that was great.
30
you
seconds.
can have an elevator pitch too, but I actually welcome the slightly more full explanation. It's really I did not know that about Gary, Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about the fact that, I grew up in Michigan and I have been to Gary, Indiana before, but I didn't know that that makes it, like an even more special place in my mind.
We're very proud of. We call ourselves the birthplace of Black political empowerment. We're very proud of that.
Fantastic. Yeah. As you should be.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, let's dive into our questions. I want to start. So the first question, I always like to start by giving a little framing of bravery versus courage. Right. So bravery is about taking action without fear, and courage is about taking action despite fear. And I'm really interested in courage, because I think that fear piece is actually very important, and it's also very common. We feel fear about a lot of things. We get to act courageously. Yes. So I would love to hear from you about some experiences, examples of courage that you've had in your life, both your professional life and your personal life, if you want to share that as well.
Sure. And I love the way you make the distinction between bravery and courage.
Thank you.
Because I feel like for the first half of my life, it may have been more bravery. I did a lot of things almost fearlessly.
Yeah, fearlessly.
Understanding the gravity of the consequences. But now I'm definitely in a season of my life where it takes courage, because I do understand some of the gravity of the decisions that I'm making and what it's going to cost me. And I have to do it anyway. And one of the most recent experiences, at least from my professional career, where I've experienced that as someone in politics, a political figure, is running, even though I knew I would lose. When I knew the cards were stacked against me, and I knew how it would turn out, and decided to run anyway, saying I want people to hear this message, and I want to draw a line in the sand to show folks who's with this message or this progress and who isn't. And that played out earlier this year on the city council when, I was running for president and knew I would lose, yet decided to go ahead and run, and knew I was losing in front of my entire community. So that was something that took courage. Nothing has tested my limits of courage like raising my children.
Oh, yep.
And having to trust God with my children. That's a refrain that I say in my head, a lot of affirmation that, trust God with my children, learning that they are their own people with their own path, and they have to live their own lives. It's not something that I can live for them. And, using my influence, but also trusting its limits.
Yes.
And letting my children be who they are. And I feel very aware of some of the consequences that they might face, but I have to let go despite that.
Yeah. Okay. I have a couple of things that I want to
Sure.
say. So one is, I was thinking when you're talking about running for city council president, knowing you were going to lose, I was like, what a powerful thing to do for your children. What an incredible gift to your children to give them the message that when you have something to say,
Exactly.
you get to say it and it doesn't matter. Like the outcome does not determine whether you saying what you have to say has an impact.
Right. And I'm not just going to lay down and let this happen. I'm going to stand up.
Absolutely.
Stand in it. And, you all are just going to have to roll me over.
Right. Yes. That's, yeah. And then you talked about, being courageous as a mom. And I'll just say that my daughter just turned 20 and she just last week moved out of the house.
Oh, wow.
And why
would she do that?
Why would she do that? It's so great though, because she is now like, she gets to figure it out. And we had a conversation yesterday, and she said, oh, there's this thing and it's this class that I don't want to take or what I don't want to do. And I responded, I said, great. I totally understand where you're coming from. I understand why you're saying, why that's your decision. How do you want to handle that?
Wow.
How do you want to handle that?
Wow.
And I felt so good. I was like, that's a good mom moment.
That's growth. Yeah.
That's growth.
That's growth.
Right? Yeah. Because that hasn't always been my response.
No.
That's a lot of work to get to that response.
I'm writing that down.
Oh, yay. It's a good. Yeah. How do you want to handle that?
How do you want to handle that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes I even say it to my husband.
How do you want to handle that?
Great. How do you want to handle it? It's yours. So yeah. So those are great examples. And
the others don't work.
Yeah.
Telling human beings with their own agency.
Yeah.
Tell what to do. It doesn't work.
It's the should, like you should, I like to say like, stop shoulding on me.
Yeah.
Stop shoulding on me.
Stop. That's hilarious.
Yeah. And like, you have to, you should, you need to. It's like, good chance that I'm the one who needs you to when I say that. Exactly. So that's, and the fact that you said that you recognize bravery in yourself when you were younger.
Oh, yeah.
And as you've gotten older, now it's like shifted more into courage because you understand the consequences of your actions. That really resonates for me as well.
Yeah. I think after you've lived a little and you know what's out there, you just have a deeper understanding of sometimes what can go wrong.
Yes.
And that can be a real hindrance if we let it.
If you let it, that fear can paralyze you or, because sometimes it doesn't even feel like fear. I think at least what I have done is I have let this idea that fear feels scary, but sometimes it's just pausing way too long or overthinking or, I'll find myself making really well thought out, logical, practical excuses for why I shouldn't do something that I should do. Yeah.
Not knowing to name it fear.
Yes.
But doing it now, and now the idea of, okay, having the courage to let's do this anyway. I've let fear stop me from doing too many things now. And I don't want that life anymore.
Me too. Me too. Yeah. So it's almost like we could think about, another way to think about courage would be taking action despite emotion, despite our emotions.
Right.
Because you're right. It's not always fear that gets in the way, but that's where I always like to connect it to my vision and my values.
Yeah.
So it's like whatever, if there's an emotion that is pulling me away from my vision and my values, that's when I want to take action anyway.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
good.
Okay.
And you've got to know what those are.
Yeah.
You've got to know what those are.
And I think that, the more time that we've lived, the more time we've had to figure out what our values and our vision look
and
like.
What's really important.
And what really matters. Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like hearing you talk too, fear has a whole lot of little foot soldiers that just kind of go out and does its bidding, distraction,
boredom,
insecurity.
Yep.
All these little foot soldiers that go out and do its.
Yep. Frustration. Yep. You're right.
Yeah.
I love that. Foot soldiers. The foot soldiers of fear. We are going to push back on the foot soldiers of fear.
Right.
Beautiful. So, okay. So the second question that I have is really about authenticity and claiming and expressing your power, and especially in spaces that may not always welcome it.
Right.
Yeah. So how do you express and embody your courage? Talk to me about that.
Sure. One is my name. I tell people, look, I'm spelling my name with all lowercase. It as sort of like this, like a banner almost. Like, oh wait, that she's different.
Yep. Yep.
That's something different.
You said that was partly inspired by Bell Hooks, right?
Bell Hooks, yes. The Black womanist writer who was inspired so much of my thinking, gave me a lot of language for my values, what I thought was important in the world, and how I lived out this expression of, being a Black woman in America, in the society that we live in. She named so much of that for me, and was just a very important influence on my life. And so I spell my name that way. Also, as a Black woman, I'm grateful to have my hair.
Yes. Yes.
Even in honoring the privilege that I have to wear my hair the way I want to wear it, whether it's long, short, kinky, straight, curly, and sometimes just the outer appearance gives me the courage that I need to be who I am on the inside as well. Just saying
that makes so much sense.
You might notice that I am in a season of life where I am transitioning from beating around the bush to being a lot more direct in my language. And that's something that I have been trying to be very intentional about, because I am a beater of around the bush. And I challenge myself now to just say it, to have the courage to just say what you mean, and say what you say in a very loving and respectful way, but also honor what you're feeling with your words. It's been very, very challenging. I thought, and my changes I've gone through a lot of changes in life, but recognizing the change into my 40s was just very, very different. And I don't think that I was prepared for the consequences. We use the word boundaries a lot. And for some reason I thought, okay, I'm going to set this boundary, and, everybody's just going to respect them, and we're going to live peaceful, happily ever after. But the truth is, my circle got much smaller.
Yep.
I didn't get the job I thought that I would get. I ended up, changing careers altogether. And there was some loss and some consequence then to me being more authentic and expressing my power that I don't know I was prepared for.
I mean, those consequences are real, right? They are real. And unfortunately, I feel like we live in a world with a lot of systems that don't support authenticity and honesty and being coming from a place that is aligned with our values.
Right.
That's not what the systems, and I could list the systems, but I think we all know what the systems that I'm talking about. And it's like, so there are real risks of being courageous. And I think that's really, my message is never like, oh, you should just be courageous and, act despite fear, no matter what it is. It's like, no. No. We need to recognize. I think sometimes we think that there are big consequences when actually the consequences don't matter at all.
That's true.
And there are times when the consequences absolutely do matter. And we have to, all of us have to figure out how to navigate those systems to then be able to be the people that we want. And I mean, this goes back to what I said to you at the beginning of the, before we hit record, is like, I want you to take up your space. And I love that what you're talking about in Christy language, you're talking about learning how to really take up your space.
Yeah. And, one of the strategies that kind of helped me do that is, we talked a lot about 1972 group and drawing from the past. Yeah. I see all of, the images on your wall, and it does help for me to draw on the courage of women in the past, reading some of their stories, what they went through, what it cost them.
Yeah.
And sometimes I measure that against my own. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have to sit in a Birmingham jail cell.
No.
Some people lost their actual lives and their income standing up for the freedom that I enjoy today. So I cannot shop at Target. It's not going to kill me.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And thank you for mentioning what's behind me. I really want to, I haven't done it yet, but I need to record a little special episode about these paintings. So for those of you who are not watching the video or just listening, I put up about 25 paintings that I did. I did all of these paintings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. And they're of courageous women and women that, who I really admire. And so on the very top row, those are all my mom.
Oh, and you
my
said
mom at different stages.
Yeah. 3 years ago, right? Was when you transitioned.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, and it's, I'll tell the story in another time, but there is definitely a story of how did I come to do all these paintings? But yes, it feels good. Every time I sit down in my office, I feel like I've got all these women behind me, supporting me and
pushing you on,
pushing me on. And it's, I think it's really important.
Yeah, that's a good strategy. That is just drawing on that power and that from our ancestors, from our elders, from the past. It'll keep you strong.
Yeah.
And Beyonce music. I see her there.
Who do you see?
Do I see Beyonce?
I don't think I have Beyonce.
Oh,
Who are
I'm
you?
sorry.
No, let's pause for a second. We can edit this out. Are you looking on this side or the other side?
Right there, right where, no, right. Yep,
right here?
Now over to your one more.
Right here.
Over her.
That is Laverne Cox.
No way.
Do you know who that is?
I do know Laverne Cox. The model.
But I absolutely can see why Beyonce. I can totally see why you might think Beyonce. She's the hair and then she's got that look.
When I zoom in, I can see Laverne Cox.
Yeah. But, and then I also have over here, this is India Moore.
Okay.
Who's another transgender actress who I really love. And then, all the,
is that Lupita?
Lupita. Yes. Oh my gosh. Such a big fan. Obviously we've got
Michelle.
And this is, Yara Shahidi, who is, you know who that is? Obviously this is Breonna Taylor.
Okay. Yep. I used to have, I had that same exact picture on a yard sign.
Yep. and oh my gosh, I always forget this woman's name. I need to get it in my brain. She's the first Black woman admitted to the Academy of Ballet.
That was
the incredible ballerina.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It'll come. Catherine? No,
I have to look it up.
Yeah.
This is where it's good that we can edit stuff out. Misty Copeland.
Misty Copeland.
Yes. And then now I just have to do them all.
Yeah.
This is Diana Ross's daughter.
Oh, Tracy Ellis Ross.
Who I also love.
Is that Gabrielle Union?
That is Gabrielle Union. That is Emma Watson.
Okay.
Who played Hermione. And then this other woman who I need to remind myself of her name. She's a immigration reform activist. Okay. And then of course we have our Supremes. Yep. And Angelina. And then, yep. I have to remember this woman's name too, but this one I love. This is, what is her name? Emma Gonzalez.
See, I would have thought that was Sinead O'Connor.
Right? She does have the bald head. Emma Gonzalez was one of the students at the one of the shootings at the school. And she got up and gave a speech and was talking about gun legislation and gun reform. And she's like, I call BS. Like, I call BS to like this whole situation. It was a really powerful speech. And then obviously Hillary. I'll just, again, because we're taking a quite slight tangent, which we'll delete.
They're beautiful.
And then my mother. So but it's funny because it's sort of a weird combination of people. It's like, well, I did like 125 paintings during a stressful time in my life. I was definitely using it as like a mindful meditation practice. And, so I paint this, this is like a fifth of what I painted. Most of the paintings that I did, I gave to people. Like I gave as gifts to people in my life. So I'd be like, I painted your dog and I do it from photos, right? So it's like, I painted your dog, I painted your kids, I painted, this person that you really admire. These are just the paintings that I never gave away. And so it's not like they're there for a specific reason, but there was something at the time that I was like, I want to paint this person. And, so like Oprah Winfrey, I did paint Oprah. And then there was a woman I did an interview with and she had this fantastic story about meeting Oprah Winfrey. And I was like, I have to send you something. And I sent her my Oprah Winfrey painting, which is amazing. It's not on the wall, but it's like out there. And so, like somebody has it who loves Oprah Winfrey. So anyway, that's
the wall is beautiful. The paintings are beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah. And actually there's even a further row and I don't remember any of these women's names except that this was my therapist for a long time.
Nice.
So, like she's on there too.
Nice.
my mom and my therapist looking over my shoulder.
They're so proud of you. They're so proud
of me. Exactly. Anyway. Okay. Now we will continue. Yes, sure. Thank you, editors. You can just chop all that stuff out. Okay, so Lori, I would love to hear from you about your vision for the future. And I'm thinking about your vision in terms of public health, your vision in terms of, your community, and your own personal vision as well.
Sure. In a nutshell, I feel like every human deserves clean air, clean water, and clean soil to grow food and real food. Yep. And I, from where I come from, I believe in abundance. And the moment someone is formed in a womb, the earth has provided everything that person needs. And if that person doesn't have what they need, it's because somebody else has taken too much. So that is where my equity just frame comes from. And I envision a world where everyone has enough. No one has too little and no one has too much. Of course, I have a daughter who, one of the most painful things I have found about living in this period of time is that she is growing up with less rights than I have had and experienced. So especially when we think about public health, this idea that she wouldn't be able to make her own decisions about her own health care, about her own body, is scary to me. And I envision a future where that isn't even a part of our political conversation anymore. That we aren't making those types of decisions we aren't making decisions for women and their bodies. Up in Evanston, they're one of the first Evanston, Illinois, they're one of the first communities in our country to provide reparations in their community. And so far they've distributed, at least the last I heard, about $2.5 million in repair. And they did a study where they showed how just in one zip code, two adjacent zip codes, but of course, one was predominantly Black and the other was predominantly white. But just growing up one zip code over resulted in 8 years less of your life expectancy. And I believe in a modern society that is something that should not happen. And that is a part of my future, my vision for the future, where, no one group of people own the time.
Yeah.
Own the time that you have. Corporations don't own our time or own our bodies.
I just been thinking a lot about systems of oppression. Mm-hmm. And when you said someone is born and the earth provides everything that they need, and if they don't get what they need, it's because someone is like taking that away. Mm-hmm. And I would say, or it's because the systems that we've created make it, they are blocking, they're blocking this person from getting what they have the right to.
Exactly.
And, so, I mean, we've really got to figure out how to change these systems.
And I love your redirection to the system, because, we can get in our ego and think that, we have more control of it, or we're outside of it, or more than we actually are.
Sure.
Like, you're absolutely right. Like, these are institutions. I mean, this is culture. These are institutions. These are organizations. In many ways, these are religions that people live and die for. Like these, and oppression has been so deeply embedded in the system.
Yeah.
That, it takes major work to upend.
I'm so inspired now by thinking about this 1972, this history that you talked about, and, reminding me even of the history that came before it, that led to that. Mm-hmm. And, how do we harness that kind of vision and that kind of change now?
Yeah.
That's what we need. We need that now.
Yeah. My friend, I don't know if you know of Dr. Aisha Yandoro. I know that I met you because Attica said my name.
Yes.
Would love to share her name. She's doing some groundbreaking work around guaranteed basic income with Black women in Mississippi. It's the Magnolia Mothers Trust. And until the revolution comes, right, I think that it's women like her that are doing that kind of work to help at least people survive in a system that's so intrinsic and so oppressive.
Yeah. I will definitely reach out to her. Yeah. And I love that phrase, until the revolution happens. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Yep.
Oh,
I want to, I mean,
I think we're closer than we think.
I hope that is true. And I definitely want to be part of that. You know, that we need it.
Yeah.
We need to get in there, change these systems, and then move forward. Because can you imagine what's possible?
Right.
When there's actual like health equity.
And in the meantime, I think it's important to tell people who are suffering under these systems that,
yes,
you know, it's not you.
Right.
It's not that you were born wrong.
Right.
Or
No.
born, you know, that these are constructs that we are all forced to live under. So
it's really easy, I think, for people to look for individualized explanations.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, a lot of the explanations they're systemic explanations. There's not individualized explanations.
Right.
You know, and that just leads to, you know, blame and shame.
Shame. Right.
And then of course that does exactly what the systems are designed to do. Keeps people quiet, keeps people from taking up space.
Yeah.
I mean, that is literally what they're designed to do.
Right. Right.
So let's work on
let's be courageous.
Let's be courageous and not do the thing that the systems are designed to do.
Exactly. Let's be courageous.
It's hard. It's challenging.
Exactly.
I hate saying that things are hard, but it is challenging. It is challenging, but it's so great to just talk to you and feel inspired and to remember like there's so much that's possible because there's so much that's changed in history.
Right.
There's so much.
Right.
And that's what we get to hold on to and be inspired by and then be courageous and move forward.
Right.
So tell me about your personal vision. What is coming for you?
Sure. Well, next year I'll be running for my second term on the city council.
Fabulous.
So I'll be on the ballot again, and I hope to win. I do enjoy my political life. I enjoy having these conversations about how we can do this differently. We don't have to do this the same way it's always been done. We can, rethink how we use politics to harness our power and to create a human rights agenda, right? So that's something that I am looking forward to is running again. Also getting more people engaged in the political process, in voting.
Yes.
I know it's not the end all be all. I know we tend to over exaggerate sometimes. It's important. It's important, but it is important.
It is important. It is important.
Who we vote for, that we vote is, and who we vote for is very important. So, as I have been spending the last few years registering folks to vote, talking about the importance of the political process, the influence that it has on our everyday lives and our families' lives. Yeah, I hope every day I learn something that I hope makes me a better mother. Like, how do you want to handle that?
I'm so glad that.
That all my kids are in double digits, I plan to enjoy this season of motherhood. Hopefully planting seeds that will harvest long-lasting relationships for me in the lives of my children.
I love that you use the word seasons. I've talked about this in the podcast multiple times, that I'm really leaning into thinking about my life in seasons.
Oh, that's another thing. When I talk about my personal vision for myself, it is a healthy one. I have gotten back to going to the doctor.
Good for you. Great.
Taking my vitamins, my supplements, and caring. That is something I don't think I did at all in my 30s. I made sure I stayed well enough to have healthy pregnancies, but then I ignored so much of my own personal health. And again, as a community organizer and as a community activist, it was almost like a badge of honor that I wasn't eating or wasn't sleeping or doing any of these things. And in my personal vision for my life, I am absolutely advocating for myself and for radical self-care.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Fantastic. That is a great vision. And I share that vision with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, I have enjoyed talking to you so much.
Thank you, Christy. Thank you for the time and for the conversation, for the inspiration.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to make sure that our listeners know the best way to connect with you if they want to stay connected.
Sure. I am on LinkedIn, Facebook,
great,
and Instagram, all as Lori Latham.
Great.
I can also be reached with my email address, which is loribeatrice@gmail.com.
Okay.
And you can reach me through Christy.
Yeah. We're going to put all of those links in our show notes. So it'll be really easy for people to reach out and, continue to be inspired by you. I'm so inspired by you. I'm so glad we met.
Same.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the time. I'm deeply grateful for it.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
Sometimes courage is speaking up, even when you don't expect to win. Sometimes courage is recognizing that fear doesn't always announce itself. It can sound like overthinking, self-doubt, or waiting for the perfect moment. Sometimes courage is deciding that acting in alignment with your values matters more than knowing how the story will end. Lori Latham reminds us that leadership isn't about waiting until we're certain. It's about making thoughtful decisions when the outcome is still unknown. Every day, leaders are asked to make decisions without complete information while navigating competing priorities, uncertainty, and real consequences. Those moments don't just test technical expertise. They require reflection, judgment, and courage. And that is the work of Courageous Public Health. If this conversation resonated with you, you'll find ways to connect with us in the show notes. Until our next episode, stay courageous.
Thank you for listening to the Courageous Public Health podcast. Visit courageouspublichealth.com to find the show notes for each episode and learn how to connect with us.